basement?
The guest room.
The guest room. Don't want to show that off, huh?
That's where I do the Facebook Live things. I also just don't. I don't look good today, so I kind of feel like shit. So hey, everybody.
This full on audio.
We had some.
Don't.
Yeah, we had some.
worry about-
We had some technical difficulties, so you got to jump in late with us talking about stuff.
Super late, yeah, and nothing's gone according to plan. It never does, right?
Nope.
Nothing ever goes the way you plan it. You must be able to, what is it that Vince McMahon always said? Adaptation is a key of life as well as in business, Mr. Austin.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember those old 1998 Attitude Era angles with old Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Isn't that like the Marines slogan or something, like adapt to overcome, improvise, adapt to overcome, or something like that?
Is it?
I don't know. I'm not a Marine, so I really couldn't tell.
I don't know if you know this, but
yeah, in case anybody was wondering, I am just a wrestling blogger, not in any sort of special forces unit or anything like that.
I'm no John Wick, that's for sure.
Nope.
So you named
this. Go ahead. If John Wick was for real, if that universe existed, I would probably be the cop that shows up and says, "So you working again, John?" That'd be me.
Hey, John. Hey, Jimmy. Working again?
That's me. That would be me.
Just cleaning some stuff up, Jimmy.
Yep.
Thanks, John. See you later, Jimmy.
That would be me.
The dialogue in those movies is just my favorite fucking thing in the world. Because they finally found a role that Keanu could be his like monotone, like just deadpan self, and it just works so perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's barely required to do any acting in these films.
Not verbally, no. Yeah.
Like the whole script, he's probably got like 13 lines. The entire fucking both movies. There's been 2 of them, and he probably says like 8 words in both movies. But it works so fucking well. I love it. Are we going to talk about Wick? You named this the Excommunicado.
I couldn't think of anything from last night that like a catchphrase that jumped out at me. So I just went, I know you had just seen it, so that I threw it out there. But we don't have to. We can go in whatever order you want.
Whatever you want.
We can talk about. We can make people come back next week to talk about Wick. I don't care.
All right. So first of all, how are you, Sean?
Yeah.
What's wrong, man? You seem down.
I don't know. I'm I will tell you this from the bottom of my heart, Geno. I'm in a better mood now talking to you for just a couple minutes than I've been for days. So,
Sean,
laughter is good for the soul. Yeah, no, I'm just in like a weird like mental health place, I think. So, I'm fighting. I'm punching through it, but yeah, you know how that goes. So I don't know
very much.
I don't know exactly what's going on with me, but I've been through. This ain't my first rodeo, so I recognize what's going on, and I'm working on it, dealing with it. So that's all. That's all.
Well, and it's, I mean, even I said in the Cage Side Orifices the other day that I feel like people broke me recently. I feel very over this whole job. I think Stella, like I don't look forward to coming to work anymore. I used to love this, and just the trolls and shit. Like you want to think that like people won't get to block the hate, as Darren Young says. Like they have to block it, because if they don't, eventually you'll just want to throw yourself off a fucking bridge. Because I mean, the people are just nasty, man. Like really consistently nasty, and especially in your life if you're trying to. Like for me, I'm trying to make improvements on myself as a person. I don't want to be like angry Geno, like, and everyone on this site knows that guy. So, but when you're trying to do that and people are still coming at you really shitty all the fucking time, it's like, good Lord, I don't want to do this anymore. This is bad for me. Is it kind of like that?
Yeah. I mean, that's part of it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
hard to talk about this stuff and be genuinely happy.
It's it's weird. It's weird. I mean, because I guess I'm in the same boat. I mean, I thought this was like my dream job, and I do love it, and I'm grateful that I get to sit around in my sweatpants and think about wrestling. But
yeah,
it's still a job, and
Yep.
And it's not as glamorous as it may seem from the outside.
I mean, who am I? Yeah. Who am I to complain is what I was, I was having this very talk with my lady friend. I was like, I really shouldn't be whining, But like, because I mean, you look at it, it's a pretty great job. Like I don't even have to leave my couch.
Yep.
I can have an entirely successful day at work, a really truly successful day, and never once put pants on.
Yep.
That's baller when you look at it that way. But then, like I said, you go to Twitter and it's the weirdest thing. Like the little stuff just wears you down eventually, and it's like I went all CM Punk. I do not love this. I do not love wrestling. I don't need you. I don't fucking want to listen to you. I resent you because you didn't put me up, So,
Yep.
Well, I'm sorry you feel bad, man. It really sucks.
Well, yeah, I'll be all right. Thank you, though.
The only time I like our show, as I also told Stella, was when you're laughing at something I said. That right there. See, I'll go back and listen, and I'll hear that, and I'll be like, life's okay. Life is fucking okay.
It can be. Sure can be. How is Stella? I didn't listen to it. Is she doing all right? She good?
Stella's good, yeah. We didn't bury you. I don't think this
good.
time. We were nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We were tired because of daylight savings, and I'm fucking.
Oh yeah, I know.
Get hit with the big winter storm shit. Like we got dumped. It was 70 for 2 weeks in a row, and then we got dumped with like 6 inches of snow the other night. So
yeah. We didn't. It didn't. I mean, it's yucky here, but we only we got like 2 inches of snow and then sleet. So it's just a mess. It's not even like cool snow.
The fucking snowstorm that's hitting the northeast, or whatever the hell it is, New York. You know what it's called? Stella.
That's right.
They named the fucking storm Stella. Man, how great is that?
She is a fucking force of nature, so
she should change her name. Fuck the cheeks. Stunning Stella Storm.
Ooh,
I like it.
Nice. I like it too. You should be her manager.
I really should. I think. Well, she's supposed to come do some stuff for Cage Side, so I mean, we'll see. I haven't heard anything about that. Like you said, I'll believe it.
Yep. Exactly.
This happens a lot.
Yep.
I want to contribute. You don't even got to pay me. I just really want to be on Cage Side. Like, all right, cool. What's your ideas? Let me get back to you. Haven't heard from that person for 3 years.
Yep.
At Raw.
That's the reason why I have this dream job, is because I'm just the one guy who was like, I'll do stuff, and then I actually did it.
So Kyle Decker.
That's my qualification. I did what I said I was going to do.
Decker, Rev, Sean, Kane, anyone who ever actually followed up with what they were going to do, they have a job at Cage Side now. So, Sean, I have to ask you to do something.
Okay.
I need you to exhibit strong leadership.
Okay.
We need to cut our overhead just a bit.
All right.
So by the end of this podcast, I'm going to need you to fire someone from CageSideSeats.com.
I bet we just picked up like 10,000 viewers right now. People heard there was a hot firing angle, some manager on manager action going on.
Make sure you tune in to the end of Cage Side Live to find out who Sean decides to fire.
Yeah.
So I hope there were a couple people who were like, he's going to fire himself, isn't he? Oh, man, he's going to fire. He's sad. What a good angle. They set it up because he's having a hard time. He wants time off, and Geno won't give it to him. Maybe he'll fire Geno. Fuck that guy.
Let me check Twitter and see, because last night everybody was like, I saw you were the first person I saw do it, but then I saw everyone on earth go, oh, he's going to fire himself.
Kane and I came into the Cage Side orifices and was like, so he's definitely fired himself. Well, and I felt like it kind of worked for that reason. I guess we're not going to talk about Wick. We're going to go to Raw, but I guess it kind of worked for that reason because, they probably knew that we would expect that. Like, here's the very obvious answer. Because, he hasn't been – he's been very bad at his job, and I think he's kind of even admitted to that. And he himself has been on social media talking about, I'm going to get fucking shit canned soon. And this seemed like a way to do it to where he could kind of go out in a sort of dignified way, which seems silly because it's wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, you don't go out dignified in wrestling.
No.
You go out with, Triple H telling you to jump, monkey.
Oh, yeah.
And getting low blowed by Stephanie McMahon. But the segment was actually really good.
I liked it. I thought it went on a little, as most Triple H things do, I thought it went on a little bit long. But I guess that,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that, I don't know. I mean, it was the Mick. See, to me, that's a burial. I know it's scripted and everything, but the whole,
really?
drag your star. I don't know. It's just, I mean, it's really, I don't know, the whole drag your sorry carcass around the world and tell your stupid stories, and it's just, I guess it's not a burial. I mean, it's just, I would have a hard time listening to somebody run me down that way, even if, I don't know.
It's uncomfortable, and I think that's why I liked it, because it
No,
was
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like it's the point, definitely. So
yeah,
it works.
To me, I guess I think we take Barry and Burial and stuff. I think it's appropriate in some level, because it kind of is in a way where it's like, man, they're really going hard on this dude. Like, fuck, like to where maybe you'll actually alter someone's perception of Foley by saying these things. So it may be in that way, but to me, I always think of Burial as an extended takedown, like an assassination of a character, and that takes time. You can't do that in one segment. But if they could,
but they've done it with this entire general manager stint for Foley.
Yeah. Actually, maybe you're right. Maybe this was the final nail in the coffin of like, we've booked you to be just the dumbest ass in the world. You can't catch on to anything ever. But I guess he did this time. Finally, he was like, this is where he made it clear that he did understand. The one person I'm going to fire is you, Stephanie, because you are fucking horrible for this show. You're mean, you're awful, you are a bad person, you're a liar, you're everything that's wrong in the world. And so I'm firing you. So I felt like that was at least a nice way to get to like, he's not a complete moron.
No, I thought, I mean, again, the problem with that I have is it's the same problem I have with the Triple H and Rollins stuff, is just that the seeds for that were planted in August, and we're just now getting to it in March of the following
August of last year, by the way.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, I know, but I liked, I made a note of that too. I liked that this was actually like, they went back to that specific, and he even used the same like language. He quoted his promo from that scene. So I thought that was a good, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I wasn't crazy about the HR angle, but they did some of the things that we say we want Raw to do, right? They gave us a show long story and they paid it off, and it had continuity involved. So, I mean, I'll give them some credit.
Yeah. And you know, as much as I dislike the screaming, passionate Foley promos, because they've become a weekly thing, like, and I think for me, that's my main point of contention with stuff like that. Is I don't mind when people, like, the last thing I harped on about it was crying. I don't mind if you cry, but if you cry every fucking week, then I'm going to be like, come on. Like, I don't take away from what this is supposed to be, because it used to be Foley would show up, he'd cut that big fiery screaming promo, and it would be really effective. It loses its effectiveness if he's doing it every week, and that's been the case. It's just a different person he's doing that with. But you're right that they did do the callback where I think it was before he said something like, if I were to see this in this certain way, this is what this is, that would make you a masterful liar, basically a sociopath. Right. And I can't think that, because it would make you an awful person. And I've known you forever, since you were a lot younger, and I respect you, and I actually like kind of love you, like sister kind of thing. So I can't think that. I just can't. Like, he didn't want to accept that that's the case, and all of this stuff has been building to essentially she's been being a shithead to him for a long time. And even if they didn't intend for it to be this way, it kind of ended up this way, where she's just been shitty to him on such a consistent basis that he finally, it's okay, I'm forced to admit that this person who I don't want to be a conniving piece of bitch, that's what you are. Right thing to do here for me, hard as it may be, is to just confront you with that and tell you that, and you need to fucking go. So if I'm firing one person, it's got to be you, because you're actually shit. I didn't want to think those things, but I no longer, Becky, remember the Becky stuff? Or it was Becky's, it's not stupidity, maybe, so much as stubbornness. I don't want to think these things.
Yep.
Fair. That's kind of, in a way, it's sympathetic. Stupidity's not sympathetic. It's sympathetic to see someone struggle with, like, you know. Although, I don't know. I mean, that doesn't work that well with Steph, because she's kind of always been a shithead. She's never been a character that you want to, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, she does, but, you know, and people use it as a criticism of her character, but she does kind of go back and forth. I mean, there's a little bit of like trying to deal with somebody who, you know, you're never sure what you're going to get from them. Because one week, like last week, she's like tearing him down. And then even this week, to set up the firing thing, she's like, oh, I realize I got to work with you and blah, blah. So she does flip-flap back and forth a little bit, which can fit it. I think it's just sort of laziness on their part, but it does sort of fit in with the story where that's why he might keep giving her a little bit more of a chance.
Well, or she's a manic depressive.
Yeah.
That's called mania.
Yeah. Or she could, yeah, like, or she could just be a sociopath. You know, she doesn't
Yeah,
have to have. Yeah.
she's a psychopath. That's what that is.
Yep.
Yeah, I hear you though. I mean, but we see things, I guess, so different too. Like we
Yeah.
don't ever give her the chance, and we're bad people because we're not giving her the chance, and he's the good guy because he did give her the chance.
Right.
People can change. They can be different. They can be good even after a lifetime of being bad. But they need people, good people, to believe in them, to help them get there. That's Mick Foley.
Yep.
And we just all are the cynical Stephanie McMahons of the world. And I was begging for it. I was ready. I said, get this fucker out of here, man. I'm just, and I have a whole post coming up. It's going to print when it's time for my shift.
Yeah, I peeked at it to make sure I wasn't covering the same stuff. Yep.
Yeah. She was awesome in this segment. She's so good. People, they complain so much about her as a performer and what it is that she does, the function she serves on the show. I think some of that criticism is valid because, it's never leading to a match and it's kind of difficult for her to run someone down and have them kind of get back at her, which is like kind of the basic, one of the, tenets of professional wrestling. But she's just such a good performer. Like, she used to be shit. She used to be horrible at acting. And she's actually really good at it now. And that moment where she kind of finally turns and goes, you're right. I am bad. Do you want to see just how fucking bad I really am, Mick? Like, it's like the devil, it's like the devil has taken like the form of an angel and is like convincing you for all this time that they're good and wonderful and everything you could want. And then you're suspicious, and then finally you recognize that it is a devil in front of you, even though it looks like an angel. And then it's like watching the transformation happen right in front of you, to where this big red fucking beast with horns and a menacing expression on their face, and suddenly it's like, yeah, actually I am the fucking devil. Like, and I'm going to own your fucking soul here in a minute. And then he's like, no, I won't be silenced. Because Triple H, and then his music hits, and she holds her stare on him, tilts her head to the side, and just adopts this super fucking menacing expression on her face. It was so fucking gorgeous. Like, and the GIF, one of my new favorite GIFs now because of exactly that. And she holds the stare, which is a subtle touch and a kind of a nice touch. Well, not that subtle, I guess, but it's just a nice touch. Like, she could have just immediately turned to look for him, but she held it there, which I'm a big fan of saying things without saying them out loud. It's one of the reasons I love the Wick movie so much. Yep. Say a lot without any dialogue. And WWE has a big problem with this. They tell you everything audibly without, I want more, let me get to it. Help me get there, but let me get there. And then I will get there and I'll feel a lot more paid off. She gives him this look and it's saying everything without saying anything. It's, you fucked up. And I'm actually really glad you fucked up because now the fucking destroyer is going to come out and he's going to fucking murder you. And I'm really, like, she'd been dying for Foley to make enough of a mistake to bring about this very thing happening. And he finally went far enough that this thing is going to happen, and she's fucking reveling in it. And she just keeps this look on her face, this intimidating, stern, fucking nasty, just mean, like, fuck you, Mick Foley. I actually hate your guts, and I'm so looking forward to what my husband's getting ready to do to you. And she never looks away from him. I mean, there's a minute when she turns and looks at Triple H, and then he gets in the ring and starts just destroying Foley's entire existence, like you said. And the whole time, Stephanie's just staring at him with that same look of just contempt, disdain, like, fuck Mick Foley. Like, you deserve every second of this, you piece of shit. And he doesn't. It's so good for her character because it's like, dude, he's an actually good guy who's been fair to this person who doesn't and never did deserve that fairness. So this is another one of those times to me where it's like, this is actually really good, even if I'm kind of over, like, it should have happened sooner.
Right. And like you said, I think the other thing is, like, this was the time for the crying or the passionate Foley promo, but we've been desensitized to it because we've seen it every week for 6 months. But if they had saved it for this, it would have had a real impact.
Yeah. How much more impact would it have had if he'd have been like, I didn't want to believe this of you, but now I have to believe it of you. You are garbage. Like, how could you do this, be this, whatever? And then you could feel that, like, oh man, it would make it such a more powerful thing. And then even more powerful when she comes back at it with, yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm the goddamn devil. And then that look she gets where she literally looks like Satan. And then here comes Triple H behind it. And that puts him over. That puts him over in the way like we always talk about with Wick, where it's like, you know, there's a cool moment in the movie, and this isn't a spoiler. And maybe it is, so just warning. But there's a cool moment.
Close your ears.
There's a cool moment in the second movie where his charge is to go to, he's a hitman, so he has a job. He's got to go kill someone. And there's this badass fucking moment. And they've built this through the first movie and a little bit of the second one at the beginning, where I think she turns, or there's like a mirror, and then the chick kind of looks up into the mirror, and in the reflection, she sees Wick behind her, and it says everything. Again, there are no words that need to be said there. She sees him and immediately understands what is happening. Like that kind of, and it pays off all of everything that came before it. Like, oh fuck, the angel of death is here. I'm fucked. Like there's only one reason for her to be seeing him in that moment. So everything that happened before it led up to, and that makes Wick look even better as a character, look more badass, look super fucking cool. And it's a cool moment that required no dialogue. It's the same kind of thing here, where she's like going after him, and he even utters Triple H's name, and then there's the music hits, and then she turns her head and gives him that look like, oh, you fucked up in a very bad way. Now you're gonna fucking die. And then they cut to Triple H, and he's coming out, and he's smiling, and he's all fucking like, yeah, shit's on. And it's like, that makes him look really good and cool and like a fucking destroyer that he says he is. Like this was actually really, really good. I was down on most of this episode, but that main event segment was awesome.
What did you, well, so here's my other critique.
Okay.
It didn't ruin it for me, but it's just, I guess a lot of it is, I mean, a lot of this is like my own history as a fan with the Triple H character, where I just like some of this shit happens and I just fucking can't stop myself from rolling my eyes into the back of my head. But couldn't he have gotten over on Rollins next week? Like, does it take away from Rollins' big, because Rollins, the dropping the crutch moment was fucking baller, and that's probably the most excited I've been to see Seth Rollins in I don't even know how long, since the fucking Shield days. So to me, like, just let him run, and that also like strings the story along, since we're not, I guess we don't know like how much he's going to be able to do on April 2nd. So, you know, did we have to get the uncomfortably long Triple H beat down to the babyface, you know, from going back to the Daniel Bryan days and all that kind of stuff again? Or, I mean, maybe we did. I don't know. I can't decide. But like I said, my history with the long Triple H promos and the always, you know, that he always has to get his heat back right away just makes me go, a little bit.
Yeah. I wondered, to me, it was, my thought was, same as you, baller. That was fucking dope. Where he comes out and like, because I didn't expect that in a way, but I should have. Yeah. And then I kind of like no. Like when it's like, that's not gonna, not now. No way. His knee can't be okay. Like it literally, this shit, he just got hurt, right? Like it couldn't have been this much time. And there's all these reports, and then he did. He holds the fucking crutch out and drops, and it's, oh shit. Cool, super awesome moment. Felt like a go home moment.
Yeah.
Not we're still 2 weeks away. There's 2 weeks of TV, and then Triple H targets the knee. I don't really know what they were trying to accomplish. I guess, like you said, I mean, it didn't ruin the Foley thing, because to me, they're two separate segments.
Right. Yeah.
So Rollins hits, and then we've moved into another thing. You'll notice Foley just completely disappeared. Yeah, I didn't really like this that much, because cool moment, but what are you trying to serve here? Like, does Rollins have to overcome another thing, like it's update on his condition? Like the knee was already fucked. I don't understand why you wouldn't hold off on that very moment until the week before the go home episode, and then he comes in and wrecks shop on Triple H that he's okay, and it's like, yeah, my knee's ready. I'll be at Mania this Sunday. We're having this match, and then okay, it's official the very next night or later that night, whatever, and then we can all be like, all right, cool, get pumped for it. In the week leading up to the show, that they did this here is kind of baffling to me, because I don't really understand what it accomplishes, other than the very cynical, we know Triple H take, where he got to have his extended beatdown on the guy that he's working with at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
so I actually agree with you here.
So we got 2 more Raws after this, and that's next week, and then to go home. Yeah, I don't know.
What do you even do from here? Like, do we go back to medical reports on how Rollins is doing? Like,
I mean, that's what the Fallout video is him like not being able to put any weight on it, like while he's trying to leave, and I haven't seen anything else from them today. But I assume, yeah, I mean, they're going to have to do a medical update at some point. I don't know if they'll do it on Raw or they'll do it online leading up to it. But
it's like they had a real injury and then decided to try to work the injury. We didn't need to do the work. He's already hurt. What are you doing? I don't understand. Like, and you're right. To me, the only thing I can think of, the only purpose, the only function it serves is to give Triple H that beatdown spot.
Right.
And I just don't. I don't think they needed that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they want to put over.
Let him take his shirt off, and he looks really good.
I was just gonna say it let him put over like where he is physically, like he's in top shape, he's ready to go, he's looking like a killer. Like I guess you can put that over, but I don't know. That's if you could have done that with someone else. I feel like is it a crime if he works a fucking Raw match? You know what I mean?
No,
like,
yeah. I mean, have him beat up Sami Zayn. That seems to be what Sami's there for, right? I mean,
that's true.
I say that as a huge Sami Zayn fan, but that's his role. I mean,
we need guys like that.
He's a fairly over good guy that takes a beating really well. I mean, he's going to have a job forever,
and that's okay. We need guys like that.
Yep.
Like, there's a very important. He serves an important function.
Yep.
He's a cog in the wheel. And I mean, it's not like the fucking wheel would fall off if he wasn't there, but it would lessen. You know what I mean? Like he serves an important function. We don't need to get hung up. He should be in the main event. He should be champ. They're burying him. No, man, he's serving his function. He's doing a really good fucking job. We should applaud it. Yep. Here's the thing that's been bugging me that I want to get your take on.
Okay.
So we're going to hop to the Roman Reigns stuff.
All right.
Because I'm really kind of over why are we so fucking unbelievably unable? And I'll say we because I often do it too. Why are we unable to let go of character alignment issues? Ooh, he's acting heelish. I like this. Is that why you like it? Or do you like it because it makes sense? Because he's acting like a badass? Because it's entertaining? Because it's, it's fun? Because it's like, are we really deriving enjoyment of this if someone is acting a way that they're supposed to act if they are, in fact, a heel or a babyface? It just seems so fucking it up for ourselves.
Yeah, it's a I don't know. With Roman, it's like the Cena heel turn used to be like this, and we've now taken all that focus and put it on Roman. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've had this discussion. I don't think that they should do away with like the concept of heel and babyface. I think they're important to have for some of the stories. I like the Roman who doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Who just is. I mean, and that's, if I was going to Orlando, I'd be cheering him probably because I think I like his character better than I like Undertaker's at this point. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it is because that's the trope, and because sometimes it's prevalent. We want to shoehorn everything into that. I don't know. That's the only thing I can come up with. But I do agree, especially with Reigns. I think it's distracting. And the other person that it kind of bugs me with a little bit is with Sasha.
Yeah. Well, to me,
to
me too, it's actively detrimental to what they're doing. And you go, well, is he a babyface? I don't even know. Am I supposed to cheer him? Are you a fucking 5-year-old that needs your hand held? I mean, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but at the same time, I couldn't give a shit less if I am being disrespectful because, and here's the thing that's funny to me. This motherfucker literally made a catchphrase to inform you I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. Like, he's telling you exactly who he is, which is, I'm me. You decide how you feel. They're like, well, is that what WWE does? Yes, motherfucker. Don't you watch the show? They don't necessarily try to book him exactly like they'd book a babyface or exactly like they'd book a heel. Like, he's not a traditional good guy. I mean, the entire Attitude Era was filled with dudes who were kind of cockstains, but we cheered them because we liked them, because we didn't get caught up, because Vince McMahon actually literally went on TV and said, this idea that there's a good guy and a bad guy is passé. I don't want to insult your intelligence by telling you you need to cheer for the good old American drink your milk and take your vitamins and say your prayers Hulk Hogan. I'm going to give you a Steve Austin who's flipping the middle finger at his boss, and you connect with that based on a personal experience you have because you fucking hate your boss too, and that's a cool thing. You also understand, because I'm not going to treat you like a 3-year-old who needs his hand held, that you shouldn't go to work and flip your boss off. Just live through Steve Austin. That's a cool thing, right? Same basic concept here. Why the fuck are you so caught up in whether or not Reigns is a good guy or a bad guy? How about you decide for yourself and cheer accordingly? They've made it known and clear and totally okay that you can go to the building and you can boo as loud as your fucking lungs will allow you when Roman Reigns comes out. They're good with it. They encourage this. Or you can go and when his music hits, you can cheer as loud as your lungs will allow, and they're cool with it. They encourage that too. So it's this idea, well, if they want him cheered, they do want him cheered. But cheering is not just saying yay, it's also saying boo.
Yep.
Cheer. Like, folks, they're getting what they want out of this. And you're the one fixating on all the wrong shit. To me, it's so that, well, yeah, it doesn't make sense because he's a babyface. No, it makes sense with what he's trying to do as the character that he is. Who is the Roman Reigns character? And who has the Roman Reigns character always fucking been? The big dog.
The biggest dog in the yard.
The biggest dog in the yard. Who's the Undertaker character always been? The biggest dog in the yard. It only
mostly,
makes
yes.
Right. Well, okay, yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I know. I'm just being a smartass, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, at its core, yeah.
At its core, right? So, and he even was doing that shit when he was the Undertaker when they decided they didn't want to do the supernatural stuff. But kind of here, and even then, it still basically works. Mm-hmm. So it makes sense. And plus, they set this up nicely too, where Braun was like called him out. And I don't really understand this part. And I kind of have a problem with last week where Undertaker came out and then scared or sent Braun off and scared him away or didn't or whatever he was doing. Then he was going to walk away. What the fuck were you doing then, Take? You just decided, I'm tired of hearing Strowman speak. I'm going to go stand there and I'm going to have him leave. Then I'm going to head home. That was literally, if Reigns didn't come out, the segment would have ended and that would have been the show. Like, I'm a little baffled by what his intentions were there, so I'd like to know what that is. It probably never will, but whatever.
Maybe he has the supernatural power to call fellow large dogs to him in his yard.
Well, that's what I mean. He didn't do that and then wait for Reigns. He was leaving, and then Reigns showed up, and he looked up like he was surprised. Like, I'm like, this was booked weirdly to me. Like, this doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I'm just kind of curious about that. But either way,
that's Undertaker at Mania time. They don't give us a whole lot that makes sense.
Right. But on the baseline, it's so cool to me that it's just like, and then Reigns comes out, and it's a very Roman Reigns thing to do. Like, well, people, when I said that on Twitter, like, you decide, flow with the character. They're like, well, they don't do that. Like, these people don't even have characters. Actually, they do. Reigns is very true to who he is at all fucking times, despite your reaction to him. That's what makes the Cena character so great. He is who he is relentlessly. He will never fucking change because of how you react to him. That's a cool thing. So the idea is, okay, well, Reigns comes out and he's like, hey, bruh, he wasn't calling you. Like, what are you doing here? Why don't you get the fuck out of here? And with all due respect, this is my yard, so you don't belong. Get out. We wanted him to do that. It's exactly what he did.
Yep.
And then Taker looks at the sign like, Mania's coming up. Might, prove to you that that's not the case. This is not your yard. I'm still here. It's still my yard, motherfucker. So what do you have in a situation like that? Like we said, it's real fucking simple. Two big-ass dogs, only one yard. And that's the alpha structure. You can only have one leader. You can only have one person at the top. We're going to find out who the fuck it is. Here we go. Taker chokeslams him. That's a sign. We're talking dogs. That's a sign of dominance. I am the dominant here. Lay your ass down for me. And then walked off. You know what I mean? Like this, it's so simple. Situation's the same. We get to this show. So fucking baller what they did with this segment. Shawn Michaels returns and it's all, fuck, here's this guy. Oh, HB Shizzle.
Mm-hmm.
But that was not here at all. It was time for him to be serious. It's the Foley serious promo that we like, but it was good and done well that we like it. And it's kind of funny, too, in a way that it's like he couldn't beat him at Mania, so now he shows up every year to be like, well, you're definitely not going to do it.
Yep.
I couldn't, so you really can't. But it was cool. He's like, he's already fucking with you. He's already in your head. He does the mind games with fucking Hard Body Mahal. It would have been cool if he'd have said that. Like, you realize he's so in your head, you almost just got beat by Hard Body Mahal. So there are issues so far, Roman Reigns. I'm just warning you, he's fucking with you. This is what he tends to do.
That's a problem. Yeah.
It is a problem if you nearly lose to old Hard Body Mahal. But the Reigns with just the most baller fucking response. again, all due respect, he retired you, which is his way of going, I don't need to fucking listen to what you have to say.
Yep.
And go, but I'm going to retire him. And then he walks away. So fucking dope. Holy shit, it's everything I could possibly want out of Roman Reigns. He should have speared Michaels. He should have fucking speared him back to Texas and left him dead. You don't have anything to say to me. Go ahead.
I mean, that's what I'm curious about with the folks that are like, oh, please turn heel. I need this. And, you know, and I should say, this isn't just like a lot of fans. I mean, this is like Jim Ross blogs about this all the time. Jim Ross is desperate for Roman to like be a straight up like cheating heel for some reason. So is that what they want there? They want him to spear Michaels and like low blow Taker, and I mean that's going to make them like Roman more. To me, like you said, that doesn't really make sense. That's not what he's ever done.
Yeah, if you want him to do it, and it's like a weird contradiction. I want him to be a bad guy, and then he doesn't give you what you want, and you get mad at him. Who's getting over on who there? Tell me who's getting over on who in that situation. I want him to do a thing that'll make me hate him. I hate him that he didn't do that thing.
Yep.
This is like those fans, please shut your mouths. I can't deal with you. That's part of why we're depressed and sad. Fuck, man. Deal with those kind of people all the time. I'm mad at him. I'm mad at him for not doing things to make me more mad at him. Fuck yourself, would you? Good Lord. It's super entertaining what they're doing with this guy. And you can't enjoy how entertaining it is because you're so fucking mindlessly caught up in whether or not he's supposed to be a good guy or a bad guy. Well, am I supposed to cheer him or am I supposed to boo him? You're supposed to respond to the story they're telling however you decide you want to respond, and it's totally okay. Some people are going to hate it. That's okay. Some people, like me in this situation, are going to fucking love it. That's okay. It's just go with it. Flow with the character. He's not doing anything it'd be different if he just was out there suddenly all sunshine and fucking rainbows going, you know, I'm just really happy to be working with Undertaker. This is such a unique opportunity. Right. If he did that, then you could go, oh, fucking hell, I'm done. He didn't. They literally call him the big dog. Undertaker's shtick was, it's my yard.
Yep.
It doesn't get more simple than this, folks.
I mean, if you don't like it, I think that's legit. I mean, it's not a deep story. I mean, it's like you said. I mean, you just summed it up. It's basically he's called the big dog. Undertaker says it's his yard, which is also a dog-related thing. So they're going to fight. It's not. I mean, if you want something deeper, then that's a legit complaint. But to say that you're mad just because I don't know.
You don't know the alignments,
right? Yeah, it doesn't make
decide the alignments. You decide every day you meet people, you talk to people, you decide their alignment in your own fucking mind, whether you like them or you don't like them. It's the same thing. Quit getting caught. To me, this is where it's a bad thing that people know the terms, that they know enough to think they know, but they don't know enough to actually know.
Right.
It's problematic. Hashtag problematic. Because it's fucking it up. It's ruining the discourse. Is what it's doing. It's making it hard to talk about with these fuckers. Well, is he a babyface? I don't know. Do you like him? Next fucking question, dummies. By the way, I got an answer from Stella. It is dummies. It's Demis, but they say dummies. It's Eli Drake, apparently, who's a TNA character that I certainly
I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know.
It's a dummies thing. So,
but,
which just
but
makes
when
it
I
easier.
when I hear Eli Drake say it, I don't hear Demis though.
Yeah,
is that a Chicago accent problem?
Maybe she kept saying it, and she was saying dummies, and I kept hearing demis, and I'm like, I don't know if she realizes she's doing it. And then I even listened back, like, is it me? Is it my ears? Am I going crazy? Am I mad, Sean?
Right.
Yeah. Probably. So yeah. Anyway, the Reigns stuff was, a little bit for sure. But yeah, I thought the Reigns stuff was really good. Did you enjoy it as much as I did?
I did. I think it's I think the Sean. I was trying to. I'm having trouble making words come out in the right order. The Michael stuff. The Michael stuff is funny that's his role. I was really like you said. I was terrified we were going to get resurrection of Gavin Stone again. But
hang on, I'm out of breath. Sean, you're old. Fuck, get on with it.
He's good, and I think it was Greeny on Twitter who was like, made the comparison that Michaels is the guy. He's like the guy in the horror movie that warns you not to go into the woods. Now that's his role. He comes back at Mania to say, "Oh, but Taker at Mania." It's to say they have Foley do it for Hell in a Cell. It's like that's your designated role now.
Yeah,
come and warn the youngins. But it worked. Yeah, and I thought it was a really good promo from him. It was unexpected, which was nice. They actually, we both went into this show thinking like, oh shit, here we go. This is like listless and we don't care and it's going to be predictable. But they surprised us a few times. I didn't think Michaels was going to be there. I didn't think that we were getting Rollins at the end. I was expecting Balor all night. He didn't show up. So
the big segments hit really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like what they're doing with Reigns here, and I like that it'll be endlessly cute to me that Michaels his whole role now is just to show up and tell people that they can't do what he couldn't do.
Yep,
because he couldn't do it, and there's probably some arrogance there, and I don't know. I like that.
That kind of fit. I mean, and that kind of fits with the meta Shawn Michaels character too, like the showstopper. Like I couldn't do it, so there's no way you're doing it.
Yeah, there's just no way anyone else can do it, which is kind of funny in a lot of ways because, folks, it happened.
Yeah, he should go talk to Brock. That's what he should do. How did you do it?
Yeah, like, what's your secret? Well, Sean, you're like 4 foot nothing.
And then,
you're about 4 foot nothing and 85 pounds. That's your problem, sir. I'm fucking.
I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
For breakfast?
No. Yeah. Well, if they're shaped like Sean, that's what Brock would say. He'd go JJ Watt on him, like, Sean, I've eaten burritos bigger than you. That's how I beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. Like, didn't just beat him; he dominated him. It wasn't even a competitive match. He beat the fuck out of Undertaker. That's kind of crazy to think of in hindsight. So no, it's cool that that's his role, even though he's already lost to me. It's even funnier now to me. That hit me like you can't do it. If I couldn't, you couldn't. Well, like, what about Brock? We're not talking about Brock. Why are you bringing up Brock?
Yep.
He's got nothing to do with this, okay? WrestleMania 30 never fucking happened.
Brock doesn't count. He's a different category.
Yeah, Lesnar's a fucking as Rhino would say, force of nature.
Which is kind of Vince's argument for why he put him over. Like, well, because that's who you put over. That's probably Taker's argument too. That's who beats me. Yep.
Yeah. He offered it. That's the word. He offered it to Brock even years before. It's like, this is a legitimate heavyweight champion and shoot fighting, right? I mean, like, this guy went to the UFC and won the belt, even if the division was kind of weaker at that time. Right. And then the division caught up to him in a real big bad way, and he'd get tossed the next couple fights. Whether it was diverticulitis or not, I mean, that's for debate. I mean, he beat up Mark Hunt, and Mark Hunt's certainly no pushover, but at the elite level, what's that?
He might have had a little something in his system, some foot cream.
Not Mida. He did for sure. He got he failed 2 drug tests. We don't need to say allegedly.
It was good foot cream.
His feet are fucking good to go, boy.
Yeah, buddy.
Brock needs to grow his beard again, man. That makes me think of UFC 121 before Kane changed his life. He had a glorious beard. He needs that fucking thing back. He looks so weird with just the top cut that he's got going on. I don't know about that one. What do you think?
A Goldberg loss should have made him grow his beard. He should have had the Jericho breakup beard going on.
Jericho shaved his beard. Fuck, man. You're already good to go. It's not weak.
Well, I think we're gonna gradually chart his the stages of grief by how much facial hair he has. Now he's down to just a goatee. Next, he's gonna shave his chin, so he'll have the soul patch and the mustache, and then it'll just gradually go down as he gets over the betrayal.
And then he'll be ready to go tour with his band. Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense. That makes a good sense.
I don't know.
He's got all Mondays off, though. If you looked at their tour schedule, every Monday.
That's weird. I mean, so here's even as card carrying Jerichoholic over here. I don't know that I need him to stick around.
Holy shit! That's not what I expected.
Well, to say. Well, the Owens story that will come to like a logical conclusion, we would think, and I believe knowing what we know about Jericho, he's going to put over Owens. And then because I was already like last night, his little babyface interview with Mike Rome, I was already a little bit like, I don't know if I need to have all these same phrases just delivered in a fan favorite-ish way. I don't know. I don't know how much
that.
mileage there. He'll have to. I mean, I have faith in him to adapt, but I think if he's going to stick around for another 6 months, another year, I want to see new stuff. I don't want to see him doing the list and it for 6 more months.
Yeah,
I guess
less
is what I'm saying.
always more. It's a logical conclusion time. Like it's let's retire this shit because you can't keep going with it forever.
Yep.
It's better to take it away while people will still miss it.
Leave us wanting more. Don't keep it around till we're sick of it. Yeah.
Yep. And then that way you can go back to it later, and then it can still be a cool thing, and then you'll stay over. Whereas you'll fuck things up for yourself if we get to a point where we're like, oh, this shit again. Which I thought I hear what you mean because I kind of had the same. I still thought it was cute. Like I like to do. I know your name, Tom Phillips. You're not Mike Rome. You're Tom Phillips. Like I thought that was kind of cool, but it was like, well, it was also clear that like, okay, we've reached peak. This, you're already the best that this was going to be. It has already been. So let's move on.
Yep.
So I agree with you there. What did you think of, to go back to Brock? I was trying to transition.
Okay, yep. Sorry.
You railed it. My segue.
Yep. Sorry.
What did you think of the Heyman and opening promo and Brock, bouncing around? And I mean,
Yeah, no, nothing. Didn't do anything for me.
I don't really care.
There was what was it? I guess it was last week. I guess that the Heyman promo worked for me, but that was the only one in a long time that it has, and this was right back to I've heard it all. Thanks. No, thank you. I didn't do anything for me.
I agree. One of my favorite versions of Brock Lesnar is the Lesnar that shows up when the fans are really into him, and it looks like it's like feeding him, where the fans have like bloodlust, and he's getting off on it. Yeah. And it's that moment that they need to send someone out to get killed.
Yes.
Too often they don't do that.
And why is he's killing people all weekend on house shows, and then you put him on Raw to jog in place?
It's a fucking promo, yeah. To jog in place. You warm him up and then have him go home. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. It's backwards.
Yeah. Look for fucking footage of, house show matches with KO, which I thought was pretty fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It's a cool little 3-minute bout.
Yep.
But yeah, like you can't send out a Heath Slater. Like, I mean, I know Hard Body Mahal was caught up, nearly upsetting Roman Reigns, but
what's Bo Dallas doing? Nothing. Yeah. Come on. Send him out there with a sign, take an F5.
What happened to Kurt Axel?
Oh yeah, where is Kurt Axel?
He's on Twitter complaining, probably. He's on Twitter wondering what the hell's going on. He was tweeting earlier about Eddie Lacy signed with the Seahawks, so he's all weird.
Is he still remember, wasn't he doing videos for a little while with like women smoking and stuff, and
he had some weirdness going on. Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't Eric Rowan weirdness, but it was weird.
Yeah, it wasn't Rowan weird, but it was certainly he made a website at one point, and it was like GeoCities 1997 type shit. There's like a picture of him in 3 different spots on the site, and a timer for something. Who even knows what? Oh, maybe the Rumble thing. I still haven't been eliminated.
That's right. Yeah.
Which I'm glad that gimmick went away.
That was his last 15 minutes of fame. Yeah.
Yeah. He was talking shit to Heath Slater. He said like something like, "I feel bad," or someone asked Slater on Twitter like, do you work for WWE still? And he's like, sometimes. And Axel's like, "I feel bad for you." Like, you feel bad. Like, yeah, do you work for WWE even sometimes? Like, you're not even good enough to get killed by Brock. But yeah, I feel like times like that, that's when you send, when the crowd is obviously so firmly behind him. Who do you think they're going to cheer at Mania?
That's a good question.
Like the fans. I'm not concerned with who they are supposed to cheer, quote unquote. Like, I'm going to try my best to never think like that again. Who do you think they're going to cheer? Brock or Gold? I'm thinking Brock for sure.
Probably. I mean, with that, I don't know. How many people does that place hold? It's like
70.
It's like a normal stadium.
Yeah,
60, 70.
It's a stadium. 60 or 70.
I guess. I don't know.
No, because it's Orlando.
It's in Orlando, yeah.
The Orlando Dolphins.
They represent all of Florida. I don't know who plays. I don't know who plays there. I guess some college, maybe.
That's true. Like it's not a football.
They don't have a football. I mean,
all right.
Do the Jaguars play there sometimes?
They're Jacksonville, so they're a long way.
I know, but don't they like move around? I thought the Jags were sort of like the Bills, where they just occasionally had games like in other places because they can't sell out their own shit.
Yeah, the Bills just go to Canada a couple times a year, just have games in Toronto or some shit. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I think, but yeah, it's like
I think it'll be a lot of noise, probably mostly Brock, but I think there'll be I think you'll get some Goldberg support. I don't know. People like to chant Goldberg. I think whether or not they're like cheering him.
They're proving Stephanie and Triple H right. They will. They're proving anybody right who's like they'll chant fucking anything just for the chance to be a part of the show. Which is why. Go ahead.
To jump around again, so chanting CM Punk at Stephanie is something that happens now, I guess. Because even when she was backstage, it went on. I thought Triple H got a little flustered when they hit him.
He did. I was gonna say. I noticed it when I was writing about the Stephanie thing. They got to him.
Yep. He doesn't usually have any problems, but he got a little. I mean, it didn't derail it, but he had to stop and think about his words, and he doubled back on something.
He flubbed a bit where he was like getting kind of flustered, and it was like, oh shit! Like no wonder they hate this fucker because they're like, God damn these fucking chants. And then they had him do the whole satellite thing where they buried the shit out of Punk.
Yep.
And then out he comes this week, and like Detroit's like, yeah, fuck you, buddy, we're gonna do it. And then it got to him. Because I imagine he was probably having a thought like, okay, either I have to maybe I acknowledge it and shut it down.
That's what it looked like to me. Yep.
How would I do that? Because it's going to gain in steam. Or maybe I just power through and hope that it fucking goes away. And he had to make a decision while doing a promo. Yep. So I'm not saying this like, oh, he flubbed, haha, he sucks. It's more like I'm actually impressed at how remarkably, he was able to keep it together and not really get too derailed by it.
Yep.
Despite the fact that it seemed clear he was trying to figure out how to handle it. I mean, it wasn't a Roman Reigns thing where he just completely stopped and was like,
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't Goldberg having to like say the same thing 4 times in a row. Or I mean, it was flub is probably too much of a word, but you could see him, like you said, processing it. Like he heard it and he had to do something. I think he called her a businessman and then corrected himself and said businesswoman. But there was also just a pause where there shouldn't have been one. Yeah, I think that's where he was like thinking, like, well, maybe I say something, and decided not to.
Yeah, I think it's what's the line? He's like, don't mistake her being nice for her inability to do what is the right thing. It's like, oh boy, they got, and they're CM Punk chances they got him. He didn't know he knew where he was going and then lost it and had to get it back. And then you're right. At one point, she's a good businesswoman, actually, is what I meant. Sorry, honey.
Yep.
No, Stephanie was great too because she's the one saved his ass. I always like that. When the woman is saving the man, I'm a big supporter of that.
There you go. Yep.
She told him to tear his hip out. Rip his hip off. There's blood in the water. Get him. I'm like, fuck yes. I don't know, man. There's something about a woman like that that's me.
She's learned from her dad too, because when she goes to like you said, when she goes to that sort of over the top place, either verbally or non-verbally, she takes it to another level.
That's a quote, folks. Rip his hip off. Like, yes.
I don't think that's how anatomy works, but go for it.
like Jimmy Gray and Triple H looked at her like, how would I even do that?
What does that even? What would that entail?
What do you actually expect of me here, honey? Like, what am I supposed? I'll just go over there and do surgery on this motherfucker right here on Raw. Yeah, get him.
Get him.
He's over there now. Go do it now. Like she's commanding him and shit. It's great. Yeah, I kind of really couldn't have given any less of a shit about the rest of the show.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean.
The Good Brothers are really fucking dumb. I love that you did that headline. I wanted to tell you to do that, and you did it anyway.
Yep.
It's like, these idiots. Do you not fucking watch wrestling where they're like, well, so you had a number 1 contender match where the winner gets to have the match against us? Well, here's our plan. Get in on this.
I like Gallows even said to Foley, I think he was like, well, you said the winner would get to face him and there's no winner. Like, oh wow.
So now nobody gets to face us and we want the spotlight on us, and that's the whole thing they're saying. But because no one gets to face us, we're not even gonna have a match at WrestleMania. So then actually we're not gonna get spotlight. I just realized I'm a fucking moron. This plan makes no sense. I'm just gonna stand here and look like fucking idiot.
Nerds.
I'm a nerd. I look like a big penis, and I'm a nerd. Fuck. That's dumb all the way around. If the idea is, like Cole said, they want the spotlight on them and they're taking it. If you take them out with the idea, you're not going to get. That means you don't have to defend your belts. You don't have a fucking match at the biggest show of the year, the biggest spotlight imaginable. This is just a failure on every level. This is the dumbest brothers, is what they are. They're not good brothers. They're dumb brothers.
Well, luckily, pro wrestling tropes saved the day, and the triple threat we all knew was coming. How many? What is this? This is our third multi-person. That's a lot of. I mean, I know you want to try to get people on the card, but we got a triple threat for the women. We had a triple threat for the Raw tag teams. We got however many people in the SmackDown women.
I really wish that they didn't have to be that way. Why does everyone have to be on the card? Most of these people aren't fucking important enough to be here, so don't let them be. That's okay.
I mean, it would have made either Cesaro or Sheamus or Zoe and Cass seem like a bigger deal if they could just win a fucking qualifying match.
Yeah, those two are just inept. They can't do it. It's how you know you're not really important.
Yeah.
If you're in a multi-man, multi-woman, multi-team match at Mania or in a battle royal,
right,
you're not important. Fuck, how many are there? There's like 7. Well, there's a mixed tag.
I forgot about the Andre. Yep, and then there's the mixed tag. Yep.
That's different. That's not the same as what we're saying here.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Triple threat because it's let's get everybody. I mean, do you agree with that though? Like the idea that would you have done that? I don't think I would have. Would it just go to Enzo and Cass because it's in Orlando? It feels right. They never got the big NXT win. They came up through, down there in Florida where, that's where they got popular. They, became what they are now. And as much as I, don't really care about their characters or whatever it is that they, it's a small dude who pops off at the mouth and can't back it up. And his much bigger friend who's kind of tired of doing all the backing up, but still does it because he likes his little buddy.
Yep.
His little buddy entertains him. But I guess the idea, it's a good built-in story that eventually Cass is going to go, look, dude, you're fucking dragging me down. And then they can break up, and that's fine. It's cool. It's all good for that. But I just don't. To me, it would have made sense to put the belts on them because of where it is and all that. And I mean, do you agree?
Yeah, I just think. I mean, same thing with as much as I love Sasha, I would have rather it be Charlotte versus Bayley for the women's title. I mean, that feels more like the culmination of a big storyline. It feels more like real sports. It feels more like, it just all the things that you think that we think WrestleMania should be, I guess, would have these things leading to a showdown between two opposing forces, not, we can't decide so everybody's in.
And then you have 3 more months to build to SummerSlam where you can do Sasha Bayley.
Right.
And guess where SummerSlam is?
Brooklyn.
And guess where they had that big NXT thing where Bayley finally won? Like there's history built in there. There's a lot of ways you can get to that. They can still do that, and it seems clear they are, and they're dropping some good hints, some little cool story things where it's like, Bayley, they did that backstage thing, and she's like, Bayley, I'm proud of you, whatever, this and that, or so just ignore the haters.
Right.
Bayley, I thought, was actually, for the first time, she's not a very good pro wrestling actor, I don't believe, but she's pretty good here where she kind of looked up, kind of like, what haters? Like she was kind of like, it wasn't over the top. It was just reserved enough. Like, what do you mean? What haters? I don't understand what you're saying.
I think she's good she's good at one type of character. She's not good at what they've asked her to be on Raw so
That's
far.
true.
And this was more back in her wheelhouse where she was like, oh, what?
Yeah, the person who doesn't know better.
Yep.
She's just like, what do you mean? I don't understand. Sasha's like the condescending sort of know-it-all who's like, oh, yeah, well, no one thinks you're good enough. And I mean,
right, that real like passive aggressive. It's not me saying it. This is just what other people say. Yeah,
it's what they think. But I'm telling you, don't listen to them. Don't worry. And we'll go to Mania. We'll find out who the better woman is, and says that in such a way that it's like, well, it's clearly me.
Well, I also thought I probably would have had like Sasha run in to save Bayley from Nia too, because that would have been more like, well, you can't get it done on your own. So here I am having to help you again, maybe. What
was the point of the Nia thing? To add her
I don't know. No, it doesn't look like it. I mean, they've already got all the graphics. I don't think they're making it a 4-way. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I mean, they could go there, and they did mention I deserve to be in the talk, and then she did beat the fuck out of the champ. So it's like if you're not going there, none of what you just did makes sense. But then also, they chose this show for reasons I don't understand and can't even begin to think of, and maybe you can help me with that, to have Dana turn on Charlotte.
Yeah, I was surprised. To credit to Charlotte and Dana, she got a really good reaction for it. I was kind of thinking that would die a death out there, but people got behind Dana. I don't know if that's sustainable, but that was it made they were acting like it was a bigger deal than I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I mean, that's another story that's been start and stop, and like Dana just disappeared for a while and then came back. So yeah, so Charlotte's gonna have a mini feud with her on the way to Mania now, or what? I don't know. I don't understand the timing of that at all either.
Yeah, and it's a bit like the Roman Braun thing where they kept going with that. And now they're going to have a match next week. Oh, fuck. I was going to do a post about the things they have planned for Raw.
I meant to do that too.
We can do it when we get off the air.
There you go. This way, it's there's a
highlight reel.
I couldn't even think of what Jericho's show's called. I'm out of it.
You're done with him. You're just
I know.
You have moved on. Which actually sounds like an interesting thing. He's like, I'm going to show who the real Kevin Owens is, and maybe he'll have video of like a softer Owens, and like that's an actually interesting thing that I'm really looking forward to. But they're going to the Strowman Reigns match again, and that's an interesting decision to me because what's the idea there? Like, why are we still? I mean, I guess it makes sense to keep Strowman there because he would still want to be there because this is exactly what he would want to do. So it's like it's right, but also like. I just want, selfishly on my part, I want all of the focus to be Reigns Undertaker. I don't want Strowman to kind of be leeching in a way, even though it's what makes sense and it's what they should do really for the story that they've told with him and everything like that. And plus, Taker's undoubtedly going away when Mania's over and Strowman's not. He's going to be one of the top guys. So, I get it in a way, but like, what do you do there? I mean, is this Undertaker shows up again? And then
probably. I mean, I don't know.
Allow Strowman to beat the fuck out of him, or kind of maybe.
What's Strowman doing at Mania?
Exactly. So they didn't establish him.
Be in the Andre with Big Show. I mean, because we all sort of assumed that Big Show might win that, be the first ever 2-time Andre winner.
I'll tell you, if they actually do have him in the Andre with Big Show, I'm extremely hopeful that they book a unique match with it. I.e., all the little chodes that are going to be in there, the fucking the Kurt Axels of the world. Toss him immediately. Like if 30 guys, they should literally have Strowman and Show toss 20, however many other it would be. I'm bad at math.
28. 28. Did they put 30 guys in the Andre? They don't put that.
Yeah, they did 20 for the first one and 30 for the last two. I actually looked it up.
Jesus.
30 guys. It's just like a Rumble. Well, all of those guys should be tossed within the first minute, and it's just Stro.
I call him Stro. My boy Stro.
Stro and Show, and then they have like a 15-minute match. We've seen them have a classic on Raw where we get a kip up, and Strowman should do the kip up unassisted so I can shut down the haters. I just want to shut them down. Help me out, Stro. Oh, yeah.
I agree. Yeah, like have them team up and clear out so that they can settle things.
Yeah, and then Shaq shows up and shit gets really crazy.
There you go.
Now it's a three-way. That's how unimportant we are. Now we really know. I'm really disappointed that's not happening, by the way.
And that's just I mean, so they had a surprise Shaq appearance last year that they didn't even advertise.
Yeah, he just
came
out. He had music and everything. Yeah, it's like, oh man, Shaq, right on. Everyone's excited, and he's just a couple days ago. He was TMZ put up something about he's showing I got abs.
Yep.
Big Show's scared. Like, well, fuck both of you guys for doing this to us. Really. Maybe this was WWE's. Maybe this was a strong arm by WWE to be like, we'll put him in the fucking Andre. We'll announce it. We'll see what Shaq does then. Maybe he'll hit us up. Like it's negotiating. It's a game of leverage, and the cards are in the WWE side.
But there's only 2 weeks to go, though. I think it's probably dead.
Yeah, I'm reaching really bad.
Yeah, I know.
For sure. For sure.
I understand.
Sasha beat
Dana.
Oh, we already talked about that.
That set up that, yep.
Show. I think we covered everything on this show in a way that wasn't.
Yeah.
Was there anything else?
I mean, there was the New Day segment, but that's the Big Show thing.
I don't really care what they're doing, so I don't. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna do a post on some Big E gifs because he was extra creepy last night. But
He
that's
was
all right.
showing his titties, and I like his titties.
He has got some nice titties.
There's a one GIF where Foley's walking by and like Big
Yeah,
E's got his titties.
yep, just squeeze
Look
it
at Kofi though.
background.
Look at Kofi in that GIF.
What is
Looks
Kofi
like a
doing?
fucking demon.
Hmm.
He's got his head tilted down and his eyes are up. It's creepy as shit. I like it though.
Nice.
But yes, Big E's titties. The talk that like it's another one of those fan issues where they go, they don't have anything for New Day. They're just having them do this talk show because they don't have anything for them. Think about what you just said.
I mean, I'm one of those people. I mean, I do kind of wish that they had some sort of follow up to the. It's weird that they went from longest reigning tag champs to, just variety show act. But at least, I mean, yeah, I'm not saying it's nothing. When I say that, I say like I might have preferred them doing something that seemed a little
totally valid.
Wrestling related, but it's not nothing. No, and I, because I said when they were off TV for a week, I was like, "What the fuck's up with this? That's nothing." But then they came back with the Mania host thing, and I mean that's obviously a big deal. So
I'm upset they have nothing for New Day. Valid. I wish New Day was in a position that I could enjoy them more, having matches and in meaningful feuds. Valid. Well, they didn't have anything for them. That's why they're doing this. You're correct, sir. They had nothing for them. So they gave them something.
So they came up with something.
What's the problem? What is they're just doing this because they don't have anything for. Yeah, correct, fucker. That's exactly the thing they do every fucking week with everyone on the roster. My God, the discourse in this shit is just so bothersome to me.
Yeah.
So, but I do think that that's everything, right? I mean, did we?
I think we got the show. So we got SmackDown tonight. We're excited. I guess. Right?
I don't know that we are, my man. Well, they're all. Shane's gonna. We were talking about it last night, where they're like, "Fuck, they've said nothing for SmackDown," and that's rare. They've announced something for SmackDown a full week ahead of time for like 6 months in a row, and then they don't do that 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. That's a strange time to stop doing that kind of thing. But when they finally did, it was Shane McMahon responds. Like, fuck, not you guys too. We don't need to do the authority bullshit here too. Goddamn. So, but yeah.
Well, and that's like, SmackDown, right when I fell in love with SmackDown, they pissed me off last week with that 10-minute opening segment of explaining stuff. So,
oh my God.
I hope we're not back to that again this week.
I explained it to Stella. I had either just seen Wick or was getting ready to go see John Wick too. And then that segment happens and it's like, my God. You don't have, they're holding your hand.
Yep.
So this is what he said, and then I said this, and then actually, if that wasn't already clear, we've got some footage to show you. Everybody, hey, cut the lights real quick. Let's watch this. Like you're in a fucking classroom. Eat shit. And again, there's no payoff to that. And for anyone who didn't listen to Gavin about grappling, quick explainer here. And again, possible spoiler. Wick shows up. The same chick mentioned before, where it's in reflection in the mirror. The security guard for that chick sees him, is immediately concerned because he understands who John Wick is. There's only one reason for John Wick to be here. You don't need to explain this with words.
Right.
But the way they get there is so fucking cool and badass. He sees Wick and he goes, "Hey, John, you working?" And he goes, "Yeah, you?" And he said, and Common is the guy that I'm talking about. That Cassius, I think is his name, Cassian or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
But then he's like, "Yeah," and he goes, "Good night." Meaning, he's not saying what he's saying, but you know what he's saying, and it's so much cooler. Let me get there. And Wick's response is so fucking perfect and awesome and dope and badass, and he looks at me and goes, "Afraid so." They have just confirmed something to you. Now there's a showdown. Now these two are going to go at it because they've just got you there, and they did it with all of fucking 8 words. They didn't need to have some big, long, drawn-out thing with video footage. Wick didn't roll out a fucking camera phone and go, "Well, here, let me show you exactly what has occurred here. And then also I did this, and then this happened with this." Super cool. You don't need all the exposition. Let me get there on my own. Say something without actually spelling it out. I don't need fucking crayons. And that's what WWE often does. So hopefully tonight, Shane doesn't start the show and give us an extended rundown. And I know they're gonna play the video of the backstage thing. In this case, I'll forgive it because there are plenty of people who probably watch SmackDown don't watch the social stuff. They're not on the digital shit. They're not on YouTube. They don't go to websites like ours. So those people need to be caught up that there actually was a confrontation that happened. That's important to the story, and it's possible that people didn't see that. And it's different than if you didn't watch the show, right? It was never on a show.
True.
So in that case, that's forgivable, but I don't need a shit ton of,
But there's a way. There's a way to do that without doing the whole monologue, I think. So
open the show with it. Start the show.
I mean, they showed it. They basically showed it on Raw last night in the teaser. But even so, just show it. It's only like a minute worth of footage. Just show it again. Yeah,
and then come out, and then you can talk about it as though everyone already saw it. Show it in the arena, whatever that you need to do to get there. So that's my hope for wrestling in 2017 is less exposition.
Yep.
So
I think I don't know. We'll see. SmackDown's gonna be a lot of responding tonight, though. I think because Bray hasn't said anything to Randy yet. Cena and Nikki are gonna have to say something about what Miz and Maurice said on Talking Smack, which they'll also probably have to explain because it was on Talking Smack.
And then 205 Live, we're gonna find out the cruiserweight title match at WrestleMania. How amazing is that? We're gonna get multi-mans in the women's match, both women's titles. We're gonna get multi-mans in the tag matches, but Neville gets a fucking singles match.
There you go. Well, they've done their time. They've done so many multi-man matches. They deserve it.
This will be the change in the division. Austin Aries versus. Well, you know what? Why are we thinking they'll deviate? They'll come out at the end of the Fatal 5-Way and be like, "You're all in the match."
Yep,
it's a 6-way.
Probably, yeah. Can't settle anything.
What a stupid show! What a fucking stupid show this is. But all right, that was it. That was
sorry we were late, everybody.
Yeah, we were late, and we're apologize for that. Sean's technical difficulties. Sorry you don't get to see his beautiful face today.
I should be back next week as normal.
I miss your pretty face. What was your mug this week?
I have a travel mug with one of the kittens on it.
An Otunga travel mug?
It's not as cool as an Otunga travel mug. No, it's just a regular person travel mug. All right.
Yeah, that's it. Back to work we go.
Bye.